Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending when you're watching this. There's gonna be a glare the entire time. Anyways, I hope you're doing well. Hope things are fine at home. I'm actually just going to be specifically focusing on content today. I got some stuff going on, so I want to make sure I have all the content out for you. I will answer questions and stuff in the next video. So for now, I kind of just want to focus on what you're doing today and what we're going to be focusing on moving forward in this unit. So you are halfway through the Of Mice and Men book, if you didn't know already, and we have been taking the time to focus on themes, how they've developed within the story. We've been taking notes on our characters, the plot, things like that. The reason I've been kind of having you do your own analysis and focusing specifically on themes is because what we're going to be doing with this unit is you are eventually, and starting today, going to be focusing on how Of Mice and Men connects to modernism. So why is this book a modernism piece? What ideas do we see of modernism in this story? What do the characters do? How do they represent the people of modernism? So forth. So starting today, you're going to be kind of shifting into that mindset of how this is a modernistic novel. So what you have to do for class today, and kind of what you'll be doing over this long weekend, because if you did not know, we don't have class again until April 15th, which is next Wednesday. I need you to finish the book. Please don't freak out. The audio for chapter 3 that you read yesterday is only like 15 minutes shorter than the rest of the book. So I believe in you. You can do this for not only class today, but for over the weekend until next Wednesday. That's almost a week. You'll be fine. So you're going to be reading the rest of the book and taking notes on it in your virtual notebook. But for your notes this time, obviously take note on theme and character, but I would also like you to start focusing on modernism and how this is a modernistic piece. So what I mean by that is we're going to be starting to focus on what was modernism, how is it represented. If you recall from our modernism introduction, modernism was very much this negative time period, right? We had the American dream, and then people said we can't achieve it anymore. So there was World War I, World War II, the Great Depression, the stock market crash, the Dust Bowl, all of these really terrible things were happening in America, and our population and our people were devastated. They were depressed, to be quite frank. They were pessimistic, and they were uncertain. So how do we see these negative characteristics in people? How do we see this doubt, not only in modernism, but where do we see it in this story? With connecting it to modernism, you'll actually coincidentally be probably able to connect it to what's going on right now too. We are currently in a situation that leaves a lot of us filled with doubt, a lot of us filled with uncertainty, and a lot of us wondering what's going to happen next. And maybe we can pick that out within the story as well. Another thing we're going to be focusing on is how these characters, remember John Steinbeck wrote these characters based off of people he knew or based off people were treated in his time period because he worked with migrant workers. How are they being treated? We have a variety of characters in the story, so we see how Curly's wife is being treated and the fact that she doesn't even have a name. What does that represent? We see a grown adult, Lenny, who doesn't think the same way we do. And how is he being treated? How do people treat him in this story? We have Crooks. That one should be pretty obvious, ladies and gentlemen, that's racism. But we see that segregation because of the color of his skin. Quite literally, he is separated from the group, right? He has his own living quarters. How are people being treated in this story, and how is that a reflection of our time period? Is it similar? Is it different? How does this all wrap up and fit into the category of modernism? We also would be talking about social realism, right? And social realism was specifically about how migrant workers were being treated and how those who were wealthier treated them. So where are we seeing these ideas? So bottom line, what you need to do for me is you need to finish the book, and then you need to be taking notes. I would encourage you to start taking notes based off of what I just told you about modernism, answering those questions I just proposed, maybe going back to your notes on modernism / my video about it, and how do we see those connections, because that is what you're going to need later, aka on your summative. Speaking of which, just to clarify, So we're obviously finishing the book, so if you're using your deductive reasoning skills, you would expect that there's a summative coming up, which there is. So I've decided that we are going to do some sort of Socratic seminar. We are going to do maybe like a Google Hangout-y sort of Socratic seminar in groups of like 5 or 6. I will get those logistics figured out ASAP. Your Socratic seminar will be next Friday. So Friday the 17th, I believe. 1 week from tomorrow. I will be posting the questions for the Socratic seminar on Monday, so you'll have access to those earlier. You'll have work time next week in our class as well, but just know that is coming up. Keep that on your radar, whatever you need. It is going to be about Of Mice and Men. It's going to be about how it connects to modernism, how it connects to today, things like that. This is a very analytical unit. You are taking this text and you're analyzing it, and we're using historical analysis as well based on what was going on in the modernistic time period, how those ideas and philosophies kind of translated. So those are your goals, that's your agenda, right? Okay, I'm just rambling at this point. So read the rest of the book, chapters 4 through 6, and then take notes on it, specifically focusing on what I have talked about in this video and any other ideals of modernism. Obviously, still take notes on characters and things like that, so you have it. This is the time you will turn in your notebooks. So notebooks will now be officially due Wednesday the 15th at 7:30. So when you're done reading, when you're done taking notes, just turn that into Classroom, and then I will return them once I have them all checked off. Sound good? Sound great? Awesome. I'm sorry for the kind of brief and just very content-based video, but I will make the next one a little bit better. Sound good? Alright, well, have a fantastic weekend. I have office hours today from 9 to 1 as always, but I won't have them over the long weekend, so my next office hours won't be until Wednesday. If you do need anything though, please just email me, or you can message me on Google Hangout. It actually pops up right away on my phone, so it's a little bit easier. But yeah, so have a good weekend, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Hey again. Okay, quick thing I meant to mention previously. I will be making a video about Of Mice and Men in total, so after the whole book is over. If you have any questions about the rest of the book, or something I didn't cover previously, leave it in the attendance form for today's class Thursday, and I will get to it when I make that video. I'm also going to be including the Chapter 3 questions in that video as well, if I haven't reached out to you already. So that's just a heads up, I will have something for you coming soon. Please leave me any comments or questions that you need me to recap for that video. Okay, cool? Sounds good. I'll see you later.